Now that chicken, when it rests, it'll start getting wet looking. And that's how you want it. You want it to be all wet looking by the time you get it in the grease.
Look how pretty that chicken is. Gorgeous. Hey y'all, it's Tammy with Collard Valley Cooks. I'm cutting up some potatoes. We're going to fry some chicken and make it my beautiful iron skillet. We're going to use it tonight with some peanut oil, okay? We're going to fry up some good chicken. Did we say 2 eggs, Chris? I almost called you Eddie. 2 eggs or 1?
2 eggs, a little bit of milk.
This is Chris's recipe, y'all. And this recipe is in our new cookbook. So get you a fork, beat it up like Granny did. Nothing beats up an egg any better than a fork. So beat that milk in there too. You're going to use self-rising flour. And I'm going to put this fresh in there. You want to use self-rising flour because it makes a crunchier crust, okay? White Lily preferably, if you can get it. It's the best tasting flour, period. That and King Arthur is good stuff. All right, we are going to put in, is it 1 cup or 2 cups?
2 cups.
2 cups of flour. You sure?
Oh, well, yeah, it's 1 cup of flour and then 2 tablespoons of that.
I think I'm going to.
Yeah, you might need 2.
I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to waste our seasoning mix in our flour. All right, start with 1 cup, and then you're gonna mix up Chris's special seasoning. I have to smell it and make sure it's not the cinnamon because we have them in the same container. To be on the safe side, get you some of these magnetic spoons, y'all. And they're handy. You can put them on your thing over the stove. All right. One thing I like about these is where that won't fit inside there, this side will. These are also on that page if y'all want to go look it up. This is a teaspoon. So you're going to put 2 teaspoons in a cup of flour. And you're going to take a whisk and you're going to mix it up a little bit. Now, Chris wants me to do some spicy chicken because he and May love spicy chicken. So I have a recipe in my recipe book for this, and I also have a Cajun filet recipe, which you use a little bit more seasoning with, and you use some hot sauce. So some of these we're going to put a little hot sauce on because Chris and May loves hot chicken. We're going to put the lid back on the chicken. We're going to put the lid back on the seasoning, and we're going to sprinkle these with the seasoning.
And that's 2 parts salt, 2 parts paprika, 1 part cayenne, 1 part black, and 1 part white
pepper.
pepper.
You can sprinkle both sides of the chicken. I'm not because I'm putting hot sauce on theirs. So do you want me to bread a few that are plain and then put your hot sauce in here?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to bread about half of it plain. I'm going to dip it in the egg. And when you dip it in the egg, look, all the seasoning stays on the chicken. And then you're going to put it, this flour is so nice and light. And you're going to put it in this flour and mash it on good. You're only going to bread it once. And you're going to put it here. So remember, you've got the seasoning and your flour, and you sprinkle the chicken with it. This has got the pulley bone still attached to it. So maybe nobody will get choked and try to eat the bone.
And you need to let your chicken sit out at room temperature about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Before you do this.
That's one reason we're going ahead and dipping these and getting them ready, because we want to let them rest right here. After you flour them, you should let them rest so that the coating stays on better once you get it in the skillet. So you can do something else while you're waiting on your chicken. About 10 minutes on this. All right, all I got left of bread is a leg and a thigh with the regular, and then we're gonna put some hot sauce on the rest of it and make real hot chicken because it's May's birthday, and she's just like her daddy. Her favorite thing is fried bone-in chicken and chocolate cake, fudge icing. Like, just get
We
that.
don't have any Texas Pete, do we?
No, all we got is that Catalina. I mean, that kind with that.
You can use that.
That's not hotter than the.
Oh, yeah, it's hotter.
Well, then give me the other.
I like the taste of this better.
Okay, he
It's
likes the
gonna be
taste of
more
this
out there.
better. May will eat it, won't
I mean,
she?
it's spicy. So,
The main thing is I don't want to cook them in the same pan. We're going to do
Right.
2 batches of chicken.
okay.
So y'all watch with this hot sauce. Should I squirt the chicken or squirt in here?
You could just
Squirt the chicken.
put it on the chicken.
Now, will it burn my fingers?
Burn your eyes.
All right, is that plenty?
Or do you?
I mean, some of it's going to come off.
Yeah, it's fine.
So I'm just going to roll it around in this a little bit, y'all. My gosh, they're going to get some Cajun chicken tonight.
Spicy chicken. Somebody asked what was the difference between white pepper
And
and
black pepper. Now, I get different opinions in the white and black pepper. If you read about it, it says that white pepper is milder in flavor. But some people say that it's hotter. And I will say that,
I think they might think it's hotter
Chris, will
because
you put some flour in here for me?
they put more on it. Like, you can't really tell when you're putting it on. You can't hardly see it.
We're going to put a little bit more flour in here, y'all, because I'm not happy with what I got. That's good. You want to put some seasoning in it?
Yeah.
We're going to throw a little extra seasoning in it, too. Y'all just bear with us. Look at my hands.
The iron skillet we have discovered takes a little while to heat up evenly for the whole thing to heat up the way you want it.
Yeah, the last time we fried something, it didn't work good. And it fried, well, we seared a steak in it,
Yeah.
remember?
It's more about searing than it is about
But it's
frying,
good
but-
to preheat your
Yeah.
iron.
should preheat it.
And if you're going to preheat it, don't think you could just turn it on high and it be preheated in 3 minutes. It's not stainless steel, okay? So turn it on medium, and it needs a good 10 to 15 minutes really to have a nice temperature. Don't put it on high. Put it down on a low medium.
Now that chicken, when it rests, it'll start getting wet looking. And that's how you want it. You want it to be all wet looking by the time you get it in the grease.
Here we go, frying chicken. Peanut oil. Think that's enough?
Sure is.
So it's hot enough. It's already almost to 275. Y'all, I don't know why I said 350. I'm crazy. So let's drop it. Leg first. I should have put the biggest pieces in first. I don't know what I'm thinking. Put your biggest pieces in first. So this big fat breast. The other side of the breast. Y'all know we cut them in half. Oops. And I got a thigh. So we're going to lay this thigh down in there. Now tell them how the oil breakdown, Chris, and change. This is deep frying. There's no reason why, if you got a skillet this deep, that you're going to have to turn it.
Right. You ought to be able to just deep fry it.
Yep.
And that oil temperature is going to drop, and then you're going to want to try to bring it back up.
Yeah, it should have dropped some.
Probably dropped a good bit.
And so we're going to see what it is now. It is about 275. So I'm going to turn it down just a notch. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down to medium. And it looks
used it
good.
about 3 times.
I mean, it's just rolling around in there.
Yeah.
It's truly deep frying it, y'all. You want me to go ahead and take the wings out?
No, it's at 6 o'clock. That'll be 15 minutes. Say that.
Okay.
That's 6 minutes from now. Now, some people say when it starts floating, it's done.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's in case the wings have been done. And that's
Oh, they're done. Yeah, I know they're done. That chicken has been on there 15 minutes. We're about to take the little pieces out. They're probably all ready. But that's peanut oil.
Peanut oil
that we are using.
I'm only putting them in here so I can transfer them to over there.
You can see it a little bit better over here. It's darker looking.
Breast?
Yeah, that grease does splatter, Miss Morrow.
All of it splatters.
Yeah. That's the other thing about cooking it on the stove.
Yep. And it stinks at the house. A lot of people like the way it smells, but I don't.
A deep fryer because it regulates the temperature for us, and it really doesn't make more of a mess, but it uses more grease. Now we do use the grease more than once, and a lot of times we'll sift that grease and kind of clean it. Really, chicken grease you can use about 3 or 4 times at least. Some
All
people
right,
use
let me
it more
say
than that.
something. My oil is getting really hot now. That oil's already broke down some because we fried one batch in it already.
Right.
So the oil is going to be hot quicker this time. And it's also going to get the chicken browner this time if you keep it turned up because it actually has broken down.
You got to turn it down. Yeah.
The first batch I cooked on medium. This batch, I'm going to leave it on medium for about 5 minutes and then I'm going to turn it down another notch so that it doesn't get so brown that it's ugly, okay?
May's 18th birthday.
That's her favorite. Cake mix is her favorite. Chocolate devil food with that kind of icing. I'll let this be Chris's. He always eats. No, this will be yours because you want the hot chicken. But
there you go.
Let me show y'all how pretty it is. Look how pretty that chicken is. Gorgeous. CBC's famous fried chicken cookbook volume 2. Y'all get you one of these. Where'd you get this one, Chris? Walmart?
Yep.
Walmart special. These are cheap kind.
If it works. We have a hard time with thermometers.
These are cheap ones. The bad thing about thermometers is every time I get one, I usually get a cheap one. And after you use it a couple of times, it starts condensating on the inside, and then it just don't work good anymore. If you want to spend your money on a high dollar one, just remember, like we have a really nice digital thermometer that's wonderful, but it only goes up to like 225 degrees or something crazy. So you can't do like deep frying with it. You can't do candy with it or anything that goes past that temperature. So you're going to need a candy thermometer to do donuts, fish, fried chicken, softball stage candy, hardball, and hard crack. And those of y'all who don't want to clean your iron skillet like I do, I always just put them in the soap and water, rinsed them, dried them thoroughly, put them on top of the stove. But if you just cannot handle that because your granny didn't do it, the soaps we have today ain't going to hurt your coating. But if you're afraid it will, I don't know how this could be any better, but you can use kosher salt or coarse salt, sprinkle in the bottom of it, and scrub it with the salt in there, which they say won't take the finish off of it. And I'm sorry, but if you can scrape it with kosher salt, you can definitely wash it with our detergent. They don't make detergents like they used to. They ain't full of lye soap like they used to be, okay? I will tell you something that'll take the finish right off of your skillet because I done it, and it was goofy of me. But I put blackberries in it and brought them to a boil, and they're full of acid. No, it was cherries. I did cherries out of a can and was doing a filling for a pie. And I put them in my iron skillet, and it took the finish right off my skillet, y'all. It was terrible. It was horrible, terrible. Chris's famous recipe. Thanks for watching Collar Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. Thanks for your patience. So you can't watch a little short video if you really want to see somebody cook because that's not real life. Love y'all. Thanks for watching.